Hi to my friends and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new location. I am outdoors today just for the change of scenery, and today I'm welcoming the new Coda Quilted jacket to the Love Notions collection. So the Coda jacket, why am I calling it a jacket? It's a coat. I think it's because I made a jacket and not a coat because I have no need for a coat, but it is actually the Coda Quilted Coat. Don't let the quilted part fool you. You don't actually have to quilt. As you can see, I just used 12 for mine. However, all of the quilted versions look so nice. I highly suggest you hop onto the website and check out all of the testers and ambassador photos. There is even an option to do a piece and quilted back yourself. So there is a quilt pattern included to do the back, and I think the pockets as well. I've seen some gorgeous quilted pockets. You can also use pre-quilted fabric, which is what a lot of people did. So if you're not into quilted or you're a little bit afraid, you can either do what I did, like just use plain denim or twill, or you can use pre-quilted fabric. I know that some people bought actual bed quilts from the home decor store or whatever to use for this pattern. So this is my version. I made my usual size large and I absolutely love it. It's super cute. I did a twist because, like I said, I have no need for a super warm and cozy coat, so I just made a little military inspired jacket. And in this video I'll be taking you into the sewing room with me to sew this jacket, and as usual I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it transparent, and you're going to see me do all the faffing around with the binding. This was my first time doing mitered corners, unbinding. This was my first time sewing this much binding on a whole, so it's gonna be fun. I hope that you will stick around for this video, and if you do, give me a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I will have all the information about Coda in the description box because of course it just launched, which means it is on launch special if you're catching this video during launch week. Coda is available in Love Notion's extended size range, which is extra small to 5X with the included full bust option. I used the standard bust option for mine. Oh, I did not make any alterations except shortening the sleeves 1 inch because I don't like my sleeves too long. And as you can see, I just cuffed them to show the binding. So yes, let me start rambling and let's just get on into the sewing portion of this video. Oh shoot, I forgot the most important part, people. I can wear this jacket in 3 different ways. I can wear it just like this, or if I come up close, husband, can they even see the snaps? Yeah. I put snaps on the inside so that I can wear a collar, or I can wear a hood. And both the collar and the hood are options in the pattern, so it's not like I made up my own pieces. These actually came in the pattern, and I wanted to use all at the same time without making 3 different jackets, so this was my solution. So in the tutorial portion of this video, I'm going to show you how I do that. Bye. So I have all my pieces cut out. I have my back, my 2 front pieces. You probably can't tell, but I do have my pockets laying on the front pieces. These are my pocket flaps. I have my outer hood, my collar, and my sleeves, and my toes. I'm still trying to decide on the hood lining. I can use solid orange, or I can use the same print that I'm going to use to make all my bias binding. So the next step is for me to make miles of bias binding from this fabric, because there's a lot of bias binding on this pattern. The hem will be bias bound, the neckline all the way around the front, the edges of my pocket flaps, my hood, my collar, and also the sleeve hem. So miles of bias binding coming up. Okay, so the first thing I did was I went ahead and stitched my pockets. I also plan to do another small pocket So what I have here is evidence of me messing around with the flap piece. I think I folded in about 1.5 inches just to give me the size I want. And then for the length of the pocket, I am just going to use the same length as this pocket. So I'll just use the same pattern piece and then do a rectangle instead. I am going to demonstrate my pocket application on my next front pattern piece. So here is my other front. I am using twill fabric. As you can see, I have already serged my top and my inner portion. This is what it will look like, and of course you will have the edges turned in 1/2 inch. So this is what that corner is looking like now. It's all pressed. And then what I will do next is top stitch, and then we just lay it down, line it up nicely. There is a little circle there, so you know that that's where the edge lines up. And then you will stitch close to the edge to secure this section, and then baste the side seam. The side seam is going to be caught, as well as down here will be caught in bias tape. So I'm only basting the side seam just to keep it in place so it doesn't shift as I'm applying my bias tape and sewing the side seam. Here I'm just measuring to make sure that my pockets line up. All good. Okay, so I've gone ahead and drafted a pocket piece. What I did was use the length of this one, so it will be the same length, and then it is the same width as the flap plus 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side, because this pocket will not be tucked into any seams at the side the way that this one is, so we need to account for the extra seam allowance. And of course we will have this pocket flap here as well. So even before I go ahead and place my additional pockets on, I want to first put on the flaps on the bottom pocket that is included in the pattern, and then that will guide my placement for the upper pocket that I am adding. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my bias binding to this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and attach it to the wrong side first. That way, when I fold it over, I will be top stitching along the right side. I am going to snip into the bias binding a little bit to help it to turn that corner nicely. I'm going to go ahead and stitch this now at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I'm all stitched. Now I am going to just trim a little bit of my seam allowance. Gonna go ahead and give us a nice press. Here's what it's looking like. So now I can go ahead and top stitch on my right side so it will look nice and neat, and I don't have to care so much about what the wrong side looks like. I don't remember what was in the last clip because this is a whole new fresh day, but I don't believe it looked anything like this in the last clip. I ended up having to not even bother to record all of this binding because y'all, this binding humbled me real quick. I've come to learn that binding is just not my thing. It's not my strong suit. Binding is not my forte, but I am loving how it's coming together so far. These are little iron-on patches, and I added the 2 pockets as I said I was going to. Y'all, tell me why. When I finished adding the pockets and the iron-on patch, I realized I did not leave any space for buttons. The pocket should have actually come over a little bit more. So now I don't know if I'm going to be able to use my buttons. But anyway, it's looking good so far. I still need to bind the sleeve hem, and then I need to bind my entire jacket. I already bound the collar.
And there's my hood. I decided I'm going to use the print for the hood because I think the orange is just going to be a little bit too much. So I still have to cut my hood lining as well. So the next step is to bind the entire jacket and the sleeves. Y'all pray for me because I just know this binding is going to take me out. Going around curves and going around points and going around inverted corners. It is going to be fun. And I did Google a lot. I did a lot of research to find the best options. And yeah, y'all don't want to see the wrong side of these flaps. So I'm kind of happy I didn't end up recording it anyway, because I don't want to stare y'all wrong. For the flaps, I did stitch to the wrong side first and then turn the binding to the right side. But for the rest of the jackets, because I want to follow the instructions to a T to make sure I get that mitered corner correct, I am going to stitch the binding to the right side first and then turn it to the wrong side. I may record some clips of me doing this binding, but if you don't see them in the video, that means it went horribly wrong. So I was originally going to start at the bottom so that the bias binding seam ends up at the neck edge. But because I want to follow the instructions to a T, especially for the mitered corner, I'm going to do it just like how Tammy has it in the instructions. And I'm going to start at the back neck edge and come down, do that little fold thing here to get the mitered corner and then come around. I did not serge my side seams yet because I have a feeling I prefer the look of it being tucked into the side seam. So I haven't serged it because I think I'm probably going to rip back this edge a little bit and have the bias binding tucked nicely into the side seam so that it has a nice clean point as opposed to trying to curve around this crazy inverted corner. Okay, so what I gathered from Tammy's instructions plus online tutorials is I am going to bring this down until it gets to 1/2 inch seam allowance left. Then we'll do that fold like this type of fold, I think. Obviously, I would look at the instructions again before I do it, but I know that I'm going to stop here and then I have to do some sort of fold to get the mitered corner. So that is what I am going to do. Okay, that actually went very well. So I started at the middle and I came around the curve. I think the curve is going to lay nicely. It's looking that way. And then I brought it down to the edge and left that seam allowance. I'm going to try to remember the fold without looking back at the instructions. I guess I'm just feeling risky today. Let's see. How did they do this? Is it? I think I got it. I think I got it. I think it's like this. You know what? I'm going to print and see if I'm right. And then, yep. Then when it goes over, it will be a mitered corner. I think I got it. Ah, boy. The joys of trying to figure out something on your own without looking at the instructions. I think I'm going to look back at the instructions before I sew though, just to make sure I know what I'm doing. Because I don't want to seam rip today. I do not want to seam rip today. That is not in my plans for today. I'm already a little ways behind. So there shall be no seam ripping today. I did go ahead and rip back the side seam slightly. Y'all, I'm just winging this as I'm going. Please don't do like me. You know, the thing is though that when I'm sewing this, Tammy hasn't put out all the resources yet. because obviously as an ambassador I have early access to the pattern, but you guys will have all the resources and stuff included in the pattern. So I don't think you'll be fudging it like me. You'll have everything at your disposal. So I'm gonna double check the instructions for the mitered corner, and once it's correct, I am gonna go ahead and sew this and trim off the excess, and then I will do the same thing to the other side. I can already tell I am going to need more bias binding to do the back and the sleeves. So I need to make more bias binding. Fun times, y'all. Y'all, it is the moment of truth. Here's what I have. I am going to trim this excess. This is very scary for me right now. Right, and then when you go to turn it over, you should have a nice mitered corner. I think I did it, but now I don't know how to do the other side. I have no idea how to do these other sides. I'm gonna have to look at some YouTube videos again. I don't know about y'all, but it's really exciting to learn new sewing techniques that you haven't tried before and to just see the magic happen. And there still feels a little bit bulky though. Maybe it's because this fabric is so thick. So I'm gonna try to trim it a little bit closer. I wonder if I need to trim the other side too. I think it's probably like this. That looks right. Again, I'm gonna watch some videos and double check before I attempt to even top stitch this down. I don't want to get anything wrong. I feel like if my 45-degree angle isn't exactly 45 degrees though. But listen, it's my first time doing this. I will take it. I will take it. Okay, so I've been having a little play around with it. Pinning. And I think I finally figured it out. So here is what it looks like when you turn it. And then you're gonna basically miter the back as well, but by hand. So you're gonna kind of finger press this section down, and then again finger press this section down. It's definitely a little bit finicky, and like I said, my 45-degree angle is not exactly 45 degrees, which is obviously not helping the situation. But I'm very happy with that for my first time. I am sure that the next time I do it, it will be a lot neater and more even. I really don't expect perfection on the first go, which is very strange for me to say because I am definitely a perfectionist. So this is what it will look like from the wrong side, and this is what it will look like from the right side. Yeah. So now to do the other side. Look at how neat this side looks. This is why I said don't stress if you don't get it right on the first go, because once you keep practicing, you're gonna get it. So my second one is much neater than my first one. Once this is pressed, it's gonna look super crisp and neat. I am going to be true to myself and hand baste all of this binding. I know I am going to love myself for it, and it's going to turn out a lot neater. If there's any one thing I could recommend to make your sewing a lot neater, a lot less frustrating if you're somebody who has to seam rip a lot, hand baste everything. It makes a world of a difference. So here's the thing I like about hand basting. I can get a pretty good idea of what it's gonna look like. I can give it a nice press before I go in and top stitch, which you can't really do if you're just using pins. I can get so neat around the curves. So
I started off with this with a slip stitch type of basting stitch, and then I switched as it got straighter. I switched to just a regular running stitch. As you can see, I basted pretty tight, but as I sew, I will kind of just pull it taut as it needs to be. But I did baste pretty tight because I don't want anything slipping or moving around. So I am going to go ahead and continue basting the other side. It's taking me forever, but I know it's going to be worth it. Then I'm going to give it a press. Then I'm going to top stitch, and then I'm going to do my final press.
I am finally finished with all of my binding. The back is bound now, the sleeves as well. And the last thing I plan to do is add some snaps on the inside of the neckline, some sew-in snaps. Let me grab them. This type of sew-in snap. That way I can have the collar and the hood interchangeable. So I can wear the collar when I want to, and I can wear the hood when I want to. So here's what my hood is looking like. I attached my hood lining right sides together and then flipped it to the inside, and then I basted to keep it all as one piece. And now I am going to bias bind all of this edge just like I did for the collar. Alrighty, so I am pretty much finished. I just hammered in these two grommets and attached this little lobster clasp orange chain thing. I think that looks really cute and just adds another little element. I am still trying to decide if I want to iron on this last patch. I don't know, we'll see. But more importantly, I did my snaps on the inside of the neckline, matching the snaps on the collar and on my hood as well. So I have one big boy snap right at the center back because that's like my anchor point, and then all the rest are a little bit smaller. So I have one big one and then 4 on each side. As you can see here, one big one and then 4 on each side. I completely was not thinking when I was putting the binding on the hood and the collar. I did not close up my ends, which sucks. And when it is on the neck, you can kind of see the little frayed edges, and you can see that it's not that neat. But oh well, that boat has sailed very far away. So I went ahead and did some fray check. I applied some fray check to the ends, and hopefully that will keep it as neat as possible without fraying. So I am very proud of my snaps and the fact that I can wear this jacket in 3 different ways. I can wear it plain and simple like this. I made sure to put the female end of the snaps on the neck edge, that way I don't have any sticky up bits poking me in my neck, so you can't even feel these. So I can wear it just like this, or I can snap on my collar, or I can snap on my hood. Ta-da! How cute and how cool that I can just attach the collar when I want to and attach the hood when I want to, or just leave it plain. It's back to normal. Easy peasy. So I still have some little threads to clean up from hand stitching these snaps on, and then to decide on this last patch, and that's literally it. Shoot time!
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this little change of scenery as well. I hope you love my little twist on the Coda jacket. Y'all know I have no need for a cozy jacket, so this is my island gal version. Hope you love it. Hope you check out Coda. All the information is in the description box below, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!